Hey, it's Brad Parker, Crystal Palace fan, and you are listening to the Drunkard United Football Show. It's a parade.
You know what else was a fucking parade?
What's that?
Today's performance from Palace over
Oh,
Manchester
that was a
United.
big-time parade.
I mean,
boom, boom, boom.
now United was probably like the big giant float that did nothing.
Well, I was
but
going to say, was it a parade or was it a funeral procession?
It felt a little bit like both now, didn't it? I'll tell you what, they're fucking frauds. I've been saying it all season.
Yep.
Let's start the show.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston. Sam Houston? Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of a lord. Looks great in shorts. Sam Graham, hey. Sam Graham. Fucking United! Fucking United!
Hello and welcome to the DU Football Show, a completely biased recap of the English Premier League as told by two common American schmucks. I am your host, Sam Houston, and across the way from me, the purveyor of baby rabbits, Mr. Samuel Graham.
Goddamn right. Doing very well.
just do
6
it.
more come to camp in the yard. I'll have some new shoes.
Jesus, I'm forgetting the character's name. I wanted to do a mice and men joke that would
Probably
go completely
moccasins.
over his head.
Actually.
It would be Lenny, and I was going to say any of
Pet
mice
the rabbits.
and men reference or meme is beneath y'all's talent.
Oh, thanks. We're recording at the DU Public House just outside the nation's capital. You can check us out wherever you get your podcasts, and of course streaming live every single Monday night. Haven't told you guys to do this in a while, but please take a second, rate, review, make sure you're sharing with your footballing friends. That's all very, very important. And should you want to chat with us, there are as many ways that you can. Mr. Graham, tell the good people how they can get in touch.
Well, first, we got to give them a mission, Sam. What's the review word? Baby rabbit?
Yeah,
Just
baby
comment.
I mean,
baby
normally
rabbit,
we do
review,
D-back, but baby rabbit.
Yeah.
You got to work baby rabbit into the review. Taylor is not right now.
Typing right now, yeah.
Right now with the lotion and all the Kleenex. He has just lost his mind. I guarantee it.
All right. Talk to us at DU Football Show on all the social medias and dufootballshow@gmail.com to get in touch via email.
Very good. Sam and myself both work in the wine and spirit industry, both have a deep passionate love for all things distilled spirits. So as the red-blooded Americans we are, we about to have a drink in our hand throughout this show and every single show. Mr. Graham Gin Binge continues. What are we drinking tonight?
We are drinking farm-born British drinks, Warner's Gin. This is their rhubarb flavored gin, fresh, tangy, and sweet. It says here on the label, 1/3 of this bottle is real rhubarb juice. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Down to 40% by volume, so that would be 80 proof. 1/3 of every bottle is real rhubarb juice. We press tons of real farm-grown rhubarb, born and bred in the British countryside, until we have enough juice for every bottle. Cracking with premium tonic or ginger ale, you choose, and a wedge of orange is what they recommend. We went a little bit more traditional with this. We did the Fever Tree Indian tonic water, premium Indian tonic water, and a lime, and it is fucking delightful.
I had to go throw that tonic into the water because what was the fatal flaw you did, Mr. Graham?
Well, I mean, I had to buy it from the store and didn't have a lot of time for it to get cold.
Well, you got home and could have put it in a fridge, right?
My kids were screaming as soon as I walked through the door.
Okay, you still could have put it in the goddamn fridge.
Yeah. My kids were screaming and I walked through the door. I set it down on the counter and just started being a dad. Sorry.
Okay, well, you know what?
Excuse me.
Fuck off, priorities. The kids, you know what? Let them scream for half a second longer. It'll be okay.
It wasn't perishable, so I left it on the counter.
Okay.
Knowing that you would have an ice bath for them.
So I did, and they're now
I know,
cold because your
Right.
mixer should always be cold, dumbass.
So what I did
Thought I taught you better.
was planned accordingly with the tools that I have in front of me. And you have an ice bath, and I just figured it'd be okay because we had a sound check to still do. Doing ice right there on the mic?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh.
I would love to play around with that bottle and make like different fruit drinks with it.
Oh,
That with some muddled strawberries
Mhm.
or orange or blueberry. Like, there is a lot of possibilities. That rhubarb is delightful. We drank a little bit of it straight earlier, and it was tasty.
I love the notion of that with the ginger ale. I think that's actually a great
That's a good idea. The other thing, too, with this one, if you didn't know, they are in Northamptonshire. So Northampton Town Football Club, which Shaq owns a piece of.
Yep.
That's where their farm is, and they grow all of the botanicals that they use to flavor their gins on their own farm.
Very cool.
Which is pretty cool.
Very cool. You know what I will do between shows? I think there's a bottle of Fever Tree ginger ale in the fridge.
Okay.
So if there is,
EFL show.
No, because Mel drank it all.
I've made a mocktail out of them.
A mocktail? You make
So
a
you just
mocktail
drank
out of
some
most
ginger ale?
things.
No, I mixed it with some club soda and some mint and some cherry juice. Cherry juice.
Mm-hmm.
I've been drinking mocktails
Mm-hmm.
and smoking weed.
I'm going to say double fucking fisting the weed. She's got both her pens now,
You
apparently.
should always smoke and drink responsibly and legally.
The gin's fucking delightful, by the way.
It's very good.
It's absolutely delightful. It was great on its
I
own.
think it should run around 40 on the shelf. We just picked this brand up, so I'm not super familiar with the pricing just yet, but it should, I think, run around $40, $45 on the shelf, somewhere in that sort of range.
Independent brand or with like a bigger supplier?
Independent brand, man.
Very cool. Very cool. So you said this and a raspberry. What else did
They have a raspberry. They have like 8.
Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head. We had one, they had a 15-minute stretch in a GSM 6 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not really sure.
That's reminds me of that brand that we had in England that's now available in the United States. I think it's
Whitney Neal.
Whitney Neal. Yeah,
Yep.
they had a rhubarb
They were
one as
excellent.
well.
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of fun, crazy flavors that were really interesting.
And I'm a huge fan of serving them in a goblet.
Oh yeah, the big
like wine glass almost. Almost like Bordeaux wine glass.
I've got a Whitley Neal goblet.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, but I've only have one, or else yes, we'd be doing them in.
I love those,
goblets.
and when they do the fruit, they're like large ass chunks of fruit, and it's delightful.
I'm like, why am I drinking it out of this if we have a goblet?
That's because talent gets the nice glass, production gets the regular fucking busted glass. Mr. Graham, what else should we do besides just being talented and awesome?
Well, she already said it, so I'll be here to remind you to make sure that you marinate your baby rabbit in milk.
There's an old inside joke from about 15 minutes ago.
Inside joke from 15 minutes ago and 9 people watching.
Yeah, but what about the millions of people listening around the world?
You're absolutely right, Sam. On this fine Tuesday morning through the magic of radio.
Gotta be more convincing, Mr. Graham, more convincing. Podcast! Teams at the bottom of the table had chances to secure safety, but only one took advantage of it. Everton 1, Luton 1, Newcastle 4, Burnley 1, Nottingham Forest 3, Sheffield 1. Sorry, wonderful world of television. You guys wanted this big, all-important relegation battle that you moved it to Friday. And guess what you got? A dog shit match. Exactly what you fucking deserved. With all that being said, you would have thought both these teams were safe because there sure as fuck was no urgency from the Hatters at all.
Well, I thought they were a bit lively, but they just, that final pass is just not great.
Mm-hmm.
At least this time they had Adebayo to get on the end of something, which is
big bringing him back.
Obviously to equalize. The penalty was definitely a penalty and a very stupid thing to give away, in my opinion. DCL scored, obviously, putting Luton down 1-0 initially. But Adebayo, 7 minutes later, whatever it was, got the equalizer. But then they never really pushed on after that.
Yeah.
Until the very closing stages, and it was so helter-skelter.
And even during the game, Everton probably had the better scoring opportunities until right at the end.
But, I mean, there was a fair few like this. Overall, I'd really say that it was pretty boring.
Oh, it was horrible.
And after, I'd say probably the opening 7-8 minutes was pretty good.
No.
Everton scored after, 12, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, something like that. And then Adebayo scored at 31, I think. And then the game just kind of petered out, just kind of fizzled. It sucked.
I would say, yes, the penalty that did get called, I felt ultimately was a penalty. But it was the softest of the three that could have been called. The one on McNeil should have definitely been called at the start of the game. absolutely should have been called.
I heard Forrester super angry about this.
Oh yeah, and then later on, the later in the game with Beto, like definitely arms around him, brought him to the ground, had a handful of jersey. It was undeniable, and if anything, it looked worse than the one that was called on Branthwaite that was called for a penalty. It was just like, okay, boys, really? Like, you want to give the conspiracy theorists reasons?
Go ahead.
Give them fucking reasons galore, man.
Yeah.
Really.
It wasn't a great weekend for VAR, I don't think, to be honest. But yeah, I never really got the feeling Luton were going to score again.
Yeah.
Despite Ashley Young trying to allow them to score again.
Oh, he did not.
He's playing himself right out of a contract.
Yeah. It's because Seamus Coleman isn't fully fit.
No, I know.
And Vitaly Malenko is currently hurt. Like, if he was healthy, Young wouldn't be in the lineup right now. Because I think they'd play Godfrey over him, and Godfrey hasn't been that great either.
No.
It's funny because, and we're going to quickly move on because there's not a lot to say about this. The only reason why this game is in where it is because it was the first of the 3 games that happened, and this was the topic we were going to open the show with, was the bottom of the table. In any other existence, this would be an Oso game, of which that we would say Everton and Luton played a professional soccer match in the English Premier League this weekend.
And it ended in a gentleman's handshake.
Yeah. Luton's
AKA circle jerk.
Luton's last 2, and they are definitely running out of opportunities, is at West Ham, who have been looking like absolute dog shit, and then home to Fulham. Probably going to need both wins. Do you think they can do it?
No. Sure don't.
Yeah.
I think this is pretty damning, to be honest with you. I just don't see it happening at this stage. I mean, I've kind of felt that way for a few weeks. They are a bit more spirited than Sheffield United were and Norwich were a couple of years ago.
Right.
And Sheffield United are now. They're putting up more of a fight. Like, they actually got a point here, right? Where the other teams would have lost 1-0.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they wouldn't have fucking cared. But ultimately, they just don't possess the quality to get over the line, it doesn't seem. Like I said, I wish they would be a bit more pragmatic, and they just aren't.
Yeah. Magpies just put it to the Clarets early, and just another big step for them closer to definitely being in Europa.
It's a very unfortunate place to be in, right? And I said this to Shore Billy because we texted a little bit during the match. When you have to go out and score, you're the team playing from behind. Couple that with you're also not very good.
They're
and then you couple that with
keep
right,
scoring.
and then you couple that with, for the most part, Newcastle's healthy again, and their uptick in form in the last 3 weeks or so, five games over 3 weeks has been pretty decent.
And they have motivation to play because Europe is on the line as well.
And they're charging right up the table.
Mm-hmm.
So you that's like a perfect storm for a fuck you Burnley.
Yeah,
which is exactly what happened.
It's a lot of the same thing. I was chatting with Shore Billy too, and it was just like, you're going to get more goals because Burnley's going to have to push. They have
exactly.
to push.
And when you open up against pacey forwards like Isak and Gordon, they're going to exploit those spaces. Yeah, they're going, and you have somebody with the passing range of Bruno in midfield. The good Bruno Guimaraes, the one we do talk about. The other Bruno we don't talk about.
We don't talk about that Bruno.
No. No. I like it when you smell what I'm stepping in.
Yeah, I got you. 6 years we've been doing this, buddy.
I know.
got a good
it's
idea
also
where you're
nice
going.
that you have nieces and nephews now and have probably seen that movie.
I can't, well, neither confirm nor deny. Next for Newcastle is United, and it couldn't be at a better time. Even though they got to go to Old Trafford, could not be a better time.
Are
for them
they
to face
midweek?
them. No, that's this weekend.
That's right. We don't play them till.
No,
after.
I'm sorry. It is.
No, we play them Sunday.
It is midweek. Yeah, it is midweek for them. So they do have a game, and then it's Newcastle. Then it's at United. I'm sorry for Newcastle.
Yeah.
Burnley, they're not out of it, but they're out of it.
Oh, it's very, very hard. They need Forest to lose outright both games completely. They also need the FA to not give them any points back, and they need to win both their games.
But those games are at Spurs, which at the moment not that hard of an ask. and it's they're home to Forest. They get Forest in their building.
I'm convinced that Spurs are saving it up for City. I'm trying to talk myself into it. And North London's going to come together because of that song by Lewis Dunford, North London Forever.
I don't know why you haven't figured out yet that they're going to play City and go, oh, wait, this is a chance to really fuck off Arsenal?
Here's the door.
Score 10. Yeah, it'll be Fulham that won't be Fulhamish and fuck it over and help you out.
Well, I'm hoping so. Fulham does something. That'd be nice. But
And
they
then,
haven't looked particularly great either.
and then, honestly, Forest take full advantage of the opportunity. They now have a full 3-point lead. They still have what is expected to be 2 points coming back to them. They won when they needed to win. They pulled what we have been saying about Everton for a while. When they had to get the win, they got the fucking win.
And Hudson-Odoi was excellent in this game as well. Kind of a carbon copy of the same goal twice. Kind of cutting in from the right. Now, I know the other one was more of a rebound that he kind of volleyed into the top corner, which was excellent. But the other one was him cutting into the right and finding that same far side. And if you haven't figured out yet what he was doing, because there was another time he'd shaved the post, and another time he kicked it straight at the goalkeeper, doing the exact same fucking thing. He's not Arjen Robben. Fucking stand on his right foot. I was very good defensively at ushering a player to his weaker foot.
He'd give you're underselling yourself. I would remember as a goalkeeper playing with you in indoor, you would literally stand to his strong foot and go ahead, shoot it with your left. As loud as can be, shoot it with your left. I dare you. They never would. They always tried to bring it back.
It was catching practice.
Yeah, it's coming right to me. Yeah. Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Dribble down, bang, fine.
Yep, and you would, bullish about it, which is very funny.
And or they would try to cut into me, in which case either I'm winning the ball or I'm knocking you over.
Right. And then if they did, and God forbid they did score a goal at any time in the game, we'd be like, yeah, I saw you did that with your right. Be classier if you did it with your left. Just constantly talking shit.
Fuck with people. Yeah. I was the verbal Ben White. Did you see, also speaking of that real quick, just a quick side note, did you see the video doing the rounds of Declan Rice on the karaoke show with Micah Richards?
No, I have not.
I think he might be colorblind because he had orange glasses on, which I thought was interesting because everybody else had sunglasses on, so it has to be something like that.
Right.
But he's saying Ice Ice Baby and went Rice Rice Baby. That's his chant in the stadium. Yeah, it's pretty good. But it's a love, and it fucking nailed the verse too.
Fabulous. Yeah, very good.
It was awesome. Anyway,
now worth mentioning, and this is all we're going to say about Sheffield United, the dead man walking that they are. They've now given up 100 goals.
Is that the worst ever?
It is the worst ever.
And they still have 2 games to play.
It makes Derby County's 10 points just. This is worse.
I think it was 11.
This is worse.
But yeah, no, it's horrible.
Way worse.
Absolutely horrible.
Like, at least Derby County would lose a couple 1-0.
But they would try. Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I said. I mean, this is the same fucking thing that happened last time. It doesn't even appear that they're trying. The only person that gives a shit is Ben Barrington Diaz, and he's playing for a move somewhere else. And that's very obvious to see.
Now,
although I did love him slapping the badge after he scored his pen. Like, you don't fucking care. You're going to be out of here in a heartbeat.
You don't give a shit.
The first person that comes in with more than 18 million, you're gone.
I was going to say, I don't see them pulling anything like the Rotherham goalkeeper did for the final game of the championship.
What?
He went to the local bar.
Oh, yeah. And the 600
pints.
Yeah.
600 pints, and then was giving away a
donated a jersey, like a raffle, and then all the proceeds went to the local hospice. That's a very class move. Victor something. It was Scandy Boy. It looked like VIKTOR. Yeah.
You know the words you always screw up in the drunken transfer recap. the ones that you don't even have to be drunk for. They're still problematic words for you.
So many vowels, which is also weird because they do the double A lot, but then they also have like 7 consonants in a row. It's like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with that?
So here's the final lineup.
And the Polish. I've never seen a W with an accent. I don't even know what to do there.
The remaining matches for Nottingham Forest, and this is where the other two sides still have a little bit of a chance. Their next match is home to Chelsea, and Chelsea has been on fucking fire lately. And now Chelsea has something to pay for because they're in the discussion for Europe.
Yeah, somehow Poch has managed to figure that out.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk about a bit more, obviously, in their game. But I don't. It's hard because aren't they at home against Chelsea, Forest?
Yes, they are, and then it's away to Burnley for the last game of the season.
Yeah, I think that's their saving grace, but I don't. And then you have the added Hudson-Odoi was there.
And
so he's going to want to fuck over his old club, especially with all these wingers they brought in to replace him. Basically, I just don't. I just don't see where Forest have the entirety of the game at their kind of beck and call.
Couple that too. They only need a point. They only need a point. A point gets them where they need to be.
Yeah, and they'll get that at Burnley on the final day.
So,
they'll get it on Thursday with the FA just giving it to them.
It isn't. It isn't over, but the door's about closed.
Yeah, we should also make mention before we move on from Forest. We should also make mention that Mark Clattenburg has left his post in one of the most ridiculous appointments ever.
Oh, really?
Retired referee Mark Clattenburg, they hired on to explain decisions essentially to the squad, the coach, and Marinakis, the owner. Explain why and how decisions are made and why they go that way and all that kind of stuff. And basically all it did was stir up a media storm, and sometimes they throw him in front of the camera post-match. And it was weird.
The problem is the owner doesn't understand the following, and this is probably what Clattenburg said to him. Maybe, just maybe, the league doesn't want to see you win. At the top of the league, only a single goal in differential changed the thing at the top because the two teams just keep on winning. Arsenal 3, Bournemouth 0, Manchester City 5, Wolves 1.
So that first half was probably the most comfortable Arsenal have looked this entire season.
Mm-hmm.
Besides the West Ham game, we really dominated West Ham.
Yeah.
Sorry, Smokey. But other than that, really, it didn't take long for Saka to open up the scoring. Obviously, it was another rather fortunate call again. I think this falls in the same line as it did last week. If the referee gave the decision on the field, and in this case he did, I don't think you can overturn it. If he hadn't called it, I don't think VAR would have given it.
Right.
This is another one of those decisions. Kai Havertz, but forwards do this all the time. Everybody just likes to be all pissy when Arsenal do it. He left his foot in intentionally and got clipped rather soft and went down.
Mo Salah's made a career off that.
Yeah.
It's what happens, man.
What are you mad
It's
at Kai
what
for?
happens.
Because he's German? Fuck
Right.
off.
Yeah. It's what happens.
We're past that. But other than that, it took a long time to get that second goal, which was rather annoying, actually. But Declan Rice with fucking, who knew he was twinkle toes, as well as having a great engine. I mean, what a little pirouette, and then just kind of shuffle with his outside of his right foot to find Trossard to get that second goal, which was great. But then the second half wasn't the greatest again, which I didn't particularly care for. Now, we did score in the second half, which obviously we didn't do against Tottenham prior to. But I think we, again, let them back into the game. They came out more intense after halftime, Bournemouth. They did things that made us uncomfortable, and we didn't respond to them necessarily again. So that was a bit rough. And, things we should probably try to get out of our game for these last two fixtures because we're going to need it.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's a good performance. I think, and this is where VAR makes me mad because I think there should be some sort of emotion allowed into the game. Gabriel, big brutish center back. We all know him. We all love him. He's got turkey teeth, just like Firmino, just like Klopp. He's got the big, Turkish dentist job done. Scored probably the best goal of his life, but for a fucking half a shoulder offsides. Factually, it's the correct decision, but it's like emotionally, it's like, bro, just let it stand. It was too good of a goal. You know what I mean? It's just one of those, like, the game's gone anyway. Fuck it. It's
not going to matter.
Right. Just let him have it.
Goal
Because that was
shot. It
fucking amazing.
It's not going to matter.
This is going to go down like Richard Dunn's screamer at Manchester City years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, there was like some sort of push in the box that had nothing to do with his shot from a free kick. That was, again, a big, brutish Irish center back absolutely lasering into the top corner.
Mm-hmm.
It gets called back for something stupid, something technical. And that was just a bit frustrating, obviously, because, I mean, what a strike. The way he got around the ball. He kept his head over the ball so much, his head almost touched his knee.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he was that swiveled left foot right in the top corner. Fucking brilliant.
So next up is a trip to Old Trafford. Now, here's the thing. When obviously we're going to end the show talking about the frauds. Does it worry you at all that they just looked so fucking bad that they...
Yeah, I'll give you my final prediction when we get there.
Mm-hmm.
But no.
Very
it
good.
makes me ecstatic.
Very, very good.
Because honestly, after this, their fans will be on their back.
Well, speaking of a team that has always given City a hard time, but showed absolutely nothing, was Wolves. Haaland scored 4 in under a fucking hour. It was 56 minutes. He scored 4 fucking goals.
Very fucking annoyed to come off as well.
Yeah, he was like, I want to stay on and score 10.
Well, if Mo Salah's allowed to yell at Klopp and start the next week, I think Haaland can do what he wants. It's fine.
Very true. Very true.
But he was noticeably pissed off when he got subbed. The way that City just squeezed possession, like, Arsenal have done it a few times this season where they, Declan Rice or Thomas Partey more recently, obviously after injury and stuff, where the other team literally for 15 minutes cannot get past midfield.
Right.
For very large stretches of this game. I'm talking 18, 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Besides like a hoofed clearance, the ball did not cross midfield. There was absolutely no chances. Wolves had 2 shots, only one of which was on target and they scored from.
Yep. Speaking of which, I do want to talk real quick about Wang obviously scored the goal. That's someone who last season was a bit out of favor, not always playing a ton. He is really, really fallen into Nathan Jones' system and has been nothing short of fucking fantastic.
He's been very good. He works hard. He's fast. He's got an eye for goal. He's got good balance, good strength. I like him a lot, actually, Wang. I don't know that he'll
not Nathan Jones, by the way. I said Nathan Jones. That's the old coach.
Gary O'Neill.
Thank you.
I don't think he'll do very well at a bigger club.
No,
Wang,
I think this is exactly the club.
I think this is the size of club he needs to be. A medium fish in a medium pond.
Yeah, O'Neill's
system guy.
O'Neill's system for me rubs me as if you put in effort, you will get playing time.
Yeah.
Very
and
simple.
There was no lack of effort necessarily before. I think Cunha was playing so well, and the system breeded kind of a one forward
even then
situation.
They were still using Podence a lot at that time, and he just seemed to completely fall out of favor with that team.
Well, because Cunha would play down the middle, and you'd have Neto on one side, Podence on the other, or whoever on the other wing, and they would play almost like a front 3.
At that time, they still had Traore.
They kind of went 3-5-2 in this one.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 4-4-2 at times, it looked, with Wang and Cunha up front, which I don't think Cunha really cared for, because he was pitiful in this game. Couldn't get any sustained possession, couldn't get multiple touches on the ball in a row, really. And ended the game with no shots. None. Yeah. Not even blocked shots. Nothing. He did not have a whack.
Yeah. Not good.
I said whack, not wank.
Next up for City is Fulham.
I think you might be right. This might be Arsenal's best chance. Given we're obviously going to talk about how piss poor West Ham were here shortly.
I'd love to give a nod to West Ham just because David Moyes is that kind of a coach.
And he's leaving.
And he was the United manager for a short period of time.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he helped us out.
But they're playing so...
And Arteta's his buddy.
But they're playing so badly.
Arteta was his captain?
Yeah, Arteta played for him. I know, but
for ages as well.
But problem is, West Ham has been so bad.
So poor.
So bad, man.
Bro, go 10 behind the ball and just have the wrecking ball, Miley, Mikael, Cyrus Antonio up front and just have him fucking run rampant.
All they need is one.
That's it.
Keep him out of the net. That's all you got to do.
That's
Areola's standing on his head.
Come on.
You go ahead and keep hoping for that, Killer.
Bro, they could be the only club that has ever had 2 other teams sing their song in their dressing rooms because they spoiled the title for somebody else on the final day.
Oh, your boys would definitely be singing that song.
Fuck yeah, I'd be singing in my house naked.
Rice will be singing it with you.
Goddamn right he will. To teach everybody the words.
Rounding out the rest of the league, and so that happened. Brentford 0, Fulham 0, Brighton 1, Villa 0, Chelsea 5, West Ham 0, Liverpool 4, Spurs 2, Palace 4, Man United 0. Brentford and Fulham played a professional match in the English Premier League. But it was a fucking derby! I shouldn't be saying that
Supposedly.
about a derby. I shouldn't be saying that about a derby.
Yeah.
God.
So I only wrote like 3 sentences.
Fulham and Brentford played a fucking professional match in the English Premier League. That's exactly what needs to be said about that match.
Both teams had chances, but neither were dangerous or intense in any way, shape, or form. They're both safe. Neither of them are chasing Europe, and there's just no real motivation, and it fucking showed. Boring.
Oh, my God. So boring.
Boring.
Such a boring match.
Gonna need Fulham to be a bit more dynamic on Saturday.
Yeah.
Would help.
Could need a little bit more out of them.
Yeah, come on, guys. Hopefully, you know what? Hopefully they were just saving themselves. Again, London forever.
Marco, apparently, auditioning for a potential bump in a job. So, here's your opportunity.
That's it.
You want to win over the United supporters real quick? Do a number on City.
Or the Liverpool supporters?
Well, if that's the job he gets, ends up being United, Just do a little show off there. You'd be all right. It'll work for you. Yeah. Also, not a particularly great game was Villa and Brighton.
Villa just look exhausted.
Yeah. And also so many, just the wrong injuries for them right now, too. Although I will say, people are going to want to bitch and moan. Olsen played his dick off and had a hell of a fucking game.
Yeah, just saved
no
the penalty.
complaints on Olsen. He was fantastic.
I also don't think everybody's as hurt as they say they are. I think they've got an eye towards the second leg in Greece, and that's going to be a fucking cauldron. And they need to overturn a 2-goal deficit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think they had an eye on that game. And what is helpful to Villa is the fact that they Spurs keep fucking it off.
Yeah, well, we knew they were not gonna do well against Liverpool.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Spurs keep fucking it off. So Villa's position in 4th is pretty safe at the moment. So they, I think, could kind of pseudo injure. He's injured. He's not playing. I think they could rest people for Thursday.
It was a full whiskey dick the whole show. And McGinn had one moment of brilliance that got called back because offsides. And yeah, I really don't have much to say on that.
There isn't much to say on
Both teams had a goal disallowed for offsides. Pascal Gross obviously also had one disallowed. And then Olsen saved the penalty. Problem was it bounced right back into the middle, and João Pedro folled his own shot and headed it in, which Olsen almost fucking got to.
Yeah. As you know, Mr. Graham.
I'm mad at defense. I'm mad at other things. I can't be mad at Olsen for any of that.
No.
The English supporter, obviously a very rational, well thought out, and
especially if they're on Twitter.
I guarantee you, they're all saying he should have knocked the ball wide on a penalty, and he purposely had his arm in the wrong spot so that it bounced back to the middle. And it's like, no, asshole. As a goalie, you're just trying to get to the ball.
But why?
And maybe make a save.
But why? What's his motivation?
They're convinced Olsen is trash and needs to be gone, and that they're just should.
So giving up a penalty,
giving
up a goal following a penalty, is going to help him secure a move.
Yeah, but precisely. Yeah, but again, Sam, the English, very fucking rational when it comes to their football club. They're the most rational human beings on the planet. Just remember, Ashley Cole is the best because I say he is. Everything you say means nothing. I say he's the best, so he is the best, and that's all there is to it. Remember that. Just some random donkey dick. Be like,
I mean, that guy's not wrong, but yeah.
But if you go, you know what? You rate people by titles, and he won way more titles, and he had way more caps than Baines for left back. If Baines was so great, Baines would have been the starting left back. Fair enough. That's an argument. That's at least an argument. Just
for those of you that haven't been with the show that long, this was an argument Sam had on the internet with somebody about 2 years ago that he's still rehashing.
Oh, not somebody's, like a lot of them. It was like 100 of them just going after me. I'm like, Look at the stats, motherfuckers. More goals, more assists, more clean sheets. Like he beats them in every fucking statistic other than titles. That's it. Titles. Anyways, getting back to our point. Mel, you have something to drink.
I'm good, thank you.
No, you can have it. And by the way, because you're being a basic bitch, you get basic bitch flavor. Pumpkin.
I told you to let me guess.
Yeah, well,
Why do you ruin things?
Because he's a man, Mel.
Because it pleases me ruining things for you.
Again, he's a man, Mel.
Happy anniversary, babe.
Cheers to the OG whiskey dick. I'm not going to give you the benefit of a reaction. Yum.
I know how you feel inside. The same way you do every morning when you get up and look at me.
You've been married for 17 years. I hope you would. It'd be weird if you didn't.
All right. Keeping it going. Chelsea are flat out now flirting with Europe, especially with how poorly United are playing. They're now in the spot. They are in that spot now.
Yeah, they are. And Chelsea over both games this week, because remember, they did play on Thursday as well, this past week. Chelsea seemed to be coming together. I don't know if the catalyst was Poch had a hard talk after that fight about the penalty.
Could be.
Or what it is, but he's started at least close to the same lineup a few games in a row now. I think he finally has a clear idea of who his best 11 is and what he wants to do with them, and it's starting to click a bit. They're still fairly inconsistent. They still have like the 5-0 at Arsenal. They still have blips. But you look at, Tottenham.
2-2 to Sheffield.
Well, Tottenham, right, yeah, exactly. 2-2 to Burnley. Tottenham, I think that's more down to inexperience. But like Tottenham, while they're not in a great way, right, in this game in the midweek, they still have individual brilliance. Chelsea dealt with that really well and stifled them at every kind of opportunity. Chelsea pretty much dominated both of these games.
Yeah, they did.
To be completely honest with you. What a header from Trevor Chalobah against Spurs. Fantastic header. And then in the West Ham game, you had everybody that you want to score. You had Palmer, you had Madueke, you had Gallagher, and you had 2 from Nico Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
One of which was also a fantastic header. I mean, the initial thing, I can't remember if it was blocked or saved, but bounced kind of straight up in the air, had no momentum at all, had to generate all the power himself, but put it in a spot, far post, with after the, was it Areola dive or whatever it was that saved the initial chance. There's no way he's getting back across the line that fast. And he got just enough power on it to get it over the line. It was very well done.
I would have to say, if you're a Chelsea supporter, even if you miss out on Europe now, you got to feel like, you know what, we've started to figure it out by the end. This team's come together. There's something to look forward to for the next season.
And you're going to have Poch with a full summer. The best thing Chelsea could do, replace Thiago Silva with somebody of, not obviously you can't do equal experience, but replace Thiago Silva with somebody that's a bit more experienced than what they have.
10 years younger than him.
And then fucking don't do anything else.
Yeah.
Just let everybody be and let Poch work.
Now, the problem is going to ultimately probably sell Gallagher.
Right. But that's fine. You have other central midfielders that can step into that role.
That is true.
So you can finally figure out what is not clicking between Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. Because really, those two starting in the center of midfield should be fucking decent, and it's not. It has not worked all year, but they continue to stick with it. Gallagher and Caicedo has done well, and Gallagher and Enzo have done well. But Enzo, I think, plays a bit too slow for the rest of that team. I think they want to push, and he can't push or doesn't want to push. I think Caicedo will do whatever you tell him to do. So the best thing they can do, like I said, is replace a little bit of experience and then fucking don't touch it. Let Poch work this summer and let his ideas really take hold with a full fucking preseason, people on his fitness plan to get all the fucking lemons they want, and then attack next season, right? And see where you are in January.
Just, being a fan of the rest of the league and, having my own issues with the Big Six being one of the smaller clubs, you kind of what sucks is it's going to be hysterical if United don't end up in Europe. It's going to be fucking hysterical.
I'm going to love every second of it.
But if they're not in Europe, it means bad behavior gets rewarded. Todd Bowley threw a bunch of money at something that didn't work the entire season and then somehow backdoored their way in.
Yeah, but that's normally United. They just followed the United model.
Right.
That's been United since Alex Ferguson left.
Oh, my God. Brilliant. Fucking brilliant. It was either Taylor or Christian just doing what they do. It was Taylor.
Taylor.
It's you and Monty Python and the Holy Grail with the bunny.
Yeah, that's how I felt. That's how I felt.
Oh, yeah. Got to use it. The holiest hand grenade. That's how it has to be done. Now,
I thought it was going to end up like the Black Knight.
But then,
honestly, I thought I was going to gnaw my limbs off.
But then, worst case scenario could happen, which would also be very funny, but also would suck, right? So it's like you don't want to see either one of those teams. It's like somehow you want West Ham to figure it out and end up being the team, and then both United and Chelsea miss out, but it's not going to happen. Now, here's the thing. Here's what I was going to say, is that Chelsea could end up getting in, but then United somehow wins the FA Cup final,
right.
which also it's like, it's great. You deny possibly City a chance of winning any trophies, which would be hysterical. But in the same regard, you're like, fuck, man, bad behavior got rewarded. Like, there is no good situation out of this.
So my real moral conflict for the end of the season stems on whether or not I want Manchester United to fail miserably in the rest of everything they have going on, or if I want them to exceed in everything they have going on besides Arsenal to make sure Erik ten Hag stays in place so we can keep having these conversations next year. Because either is very funny to me.
I think Ten Hag lost his job today.
I think he did too.
Very much so. Also, worth mentioning here for West Ham, apparently Lopetegui is the name being tossed around to be the replacement.
Apparently they've
of
agreed
Moyes.
terms. It's being reported that they've already agreed terms. And David Moyes, in this Chelsea game, like he's normally very animated on the touchline, especially when things are going poorly. And he was just sat in the fucking chair with his arms folded, angry.
Yeah.
He delivered them a first major trophy in a very fucking long time, and the players would do well to fucking remember that.
Yeah.
And send him off against City with a huge 1-0 win. That would really take the cake, I think.
Is it me, or did Liverpool and Tottenham feel like a preseason friendly? Like there was like lots of open spaces. No one really seemed to care that the score was 4-0, and then when it was 4-2, no one really seemed to care that they scored 2.
Well, what really pissed me off about this game was I ended up losing $5 when I could have won 76 real American dollars on the old FanDuels because I hit everything in this game except for the under 4.5. Because both of them have been absolutely prude in front of net. Not like Wang, who penetrates. They've been super prude in front of the net, both these teams, for the last like 3-4 weeks, and then decide to fucking rip the condom off and go raw dog, baby.
And
6 goals? Fuck both of you.
Couldn't Spurs just been happy with fucking 4-0 and call it a day, and you would hit your bet?
Absolutely. Fucking pricks.
There's really not much else to say about that.
Good $5 donated. Good $5 donated. If Spurs were saving stuff up or just practicing that second half against City. Fuck off, man.
Christian did Allen. The sewing circle is on fire tonight
So
in the closed
I'm not
group.
scared of rabbits. Let's start there. Once I figured out they were rabbits, I was fine.
Right.
Yeah, that's not the problem. The problem is that if they're comfortable in my yard, that means other shit's going to be comfortable in my yard. And if I got a family of rabbits, that invites snakes. That invites all sorts of things that like to eat unprotected baby rabbits. And I don't want that shit hanging around.
Hey, Producer Mel.
Thank God Carla's at home to protect you.
Producer Mel, you need to be unmuted for this because I need you. Hey, Producer Mel, what's Sam going to be for Halloween?
A bunny.
Patreon.com/GH Football Show to hear that entire story on our sound check feature, which we do a show that is our real sound check.
United. Oh, by the way, last thought with Liverpool and Spurs. Apparently nothing to see here. You lose. And Klopp just went off and did his little fist bump and everything. Although I will give it up to the shithousery that was Spurs supporters while he was doing his fist bump to the cop end. They're chanting, "You lost the league at Goodison Park."
Yeah. You know what else I find very interesting? I think this could be a lot of fun. if Jurgen Klopp, for whatever reason, gets a bug in his ass next game, if he gets a yellow, he's on the requisite number of yellows currently that one more yellow card would suspend him for a game. And he would be suspended for his final game at Anfield.
Oh, my God, that would be hysterical.
And the last game as Liverpool manager, if he were to get a yellow in the next match. And I guarantee you, this will be the quietest we've ever seen Klopp is in this next game because he will want to be at Anfield for that last game.
What
honestly.
would be also
That would
that's
be
against Villa at
amazing.
Villa. What would be great is if Paul Tierney was reffing that match, just so that the minute he said anything, he could just walk up to you and go, "Yeah, I never played the game before, huh?" And hand him the fucking yellow.
Yeah.
It'll never happen. Oh yeah, they will make sure he does. Oh, I guarantee you, PJMLL has already said, "Do not give Klopp a yellow. Do not fucking do it." Anyways, United get fucking embarrassed, man. That was, I don't care who's fucking hurt. You're Manchester fucking United. It's next man up.
Don't talk about United yet.
Okay.
'Cause this wasn't Crystal Palace. This was Palaceona. Okay.
No shit.
They were fucking flying, bro.
5 wins, 1 draw in the last 6, and they have scored 13 fucking goals.
Yeah.
They are on fire right now.
So the reason I say that is because, yes, United were horrible, but Palace can only play what's in front of them, and they put them to the fucking sword. They completely dominated this match.
Manhandled them.
Now,
They flat out manhandled them.
I wanted to actually look it up, and I didn't, but it's already on my phone. Manchester United had a total of only 7 shots. Only 2 of them were off target. Only 2 of them were on target. The other 3 were blocked. Palace had 10 shots on goal out of their 18.
They were ruthless. They were absolutely
absolutely ruthless. In only having 43% possession, their XG, if you put any merit in those stats at all, was 1.75. So they outperformed their expected goals. Manchester United were only a 0.35. So they barely underperformed, according to their statistics. It was bad from United, man, but it was absolutely excellent from Palace. And you can't, like, the best battle on the pitch for me, because Manchester United were so dispirited, the best battle I saw for the entire game was Mateta, Olise, and Eze wrestling over who could put Casemiro in their pocket next.
Oh, absolutely. Casemiro looked completely lost in that match.
So 3 different times. And I think it was Elise's little shuffle, the little 1-2 he did and sent Casemiro sliding by in the middle of the field in a position he shouldn't have been in, playing in center back, by the way.
Right.
I was listening to Talk Sport on the way home on Sirius XM because I was coming home from work during the game. And he said, Elise, Casemiro comes out. Elise just ended his career. Just like, that's how bad he made Casemiro look.
Oh, yeah.
And this happened a fucking few times.
Yeah.
In this game where Casemiro just got embarrassed, man. And he's 3 years younger than me, and his legs are going that bad. That's how I would look on that pitch.
Oh, God, yeah.
In my current state.
Oh,
and
God,
he's
yeah.
supposed to be a top-level athlete.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's not good.
Do you think Ten Hag even makes it through the rest of the season? I mean, if they get beat badly by you guys, I think he could be fired.
A lot of people were calling for his head tonight that I heard. A lot of people were calling for his head today.
Because it doesn't get easier.
No.
It's you, and then it's Newcastle, and it's all for Europe. I mean,
Why not just get the toxicity out?
All right, well, the
Right.
toxicity out would be fucking bench the whole team and start playing your under 21s.
Well, so but the other piece of that too. So like for instance, the sporting director at West Ham is actively searching for David Moyes' replacement, right? Like
Right.
I said, it's been widely reported as Julian Lopetegui. But during this process, apparently for the last 3 weeks to a month, David Moyes has banned the sporting director from the training ground while he's there. It's like, if you're actively searching for my replacement, how am I supposed to work with you peering over my shoulder?
Yeah, just go
so
away.
fuck off then, right? I don't think Ten Hag has the wherewithal to do that. I don't think the Manchester United hierarchy have the wherewithal to realize they're being a hindrance.
Right.
I don't think anything in that club right now is anything short of toxic.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get worse if they continue down this path. They've already said, essentially, that the entire squad, minus Garnacho, Hoyland, and Mainu, are up for sale.
Yeah.
They've already said that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's on the chopping block, including Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
It's like, if that's the case, I just don't know where they go from here, man. I really don't. This is fucking piss poor, man.
Admit it, too, though, Graham. Come on, look at me. You're loving every minute of our
Oh,
show.
God, I'll jerk off as soon as we get out of here.
Sure money.
Been anything but. Been anything but. I'm so disappointed in myself. It's been very bad.
Yeah, this cup of losers is very full.
My cup of losers is fucking Villa fucked it, which they did do for me.
Yep.
Thanks a lot for that. So I'm now down $2,247, which is still better than I did last season by a cool $1,600 just about.
Yeah, there you go. You're a stud.
I know. Yep. But I won the first two of these, I think. So whatever. I've got money in the bank. Go ahead, Sam.
Bees didn't sting the cottagers, so I am down $578.
Big Sam's Lock of the Week.
Did you know that 24.32243224% of the time works 100% of the time? If there wasn't that extra 2 in there, that would have been totally like a palindrome, and that would have been great. For my couple losers, I said, come on, bees. That was rather Fulhamish.
Aww.
That's all right.
Double poke at him there.
Nice.
All right. So for my bet, I'm going to do another 3-game parlay. I'm taking Newcastle, Everton, and Bournemouth to beat Brighton, Sheffield, and Brentford. And, I didn't put down what was going to pay me out. It's actually $379. So it takes away a little bit of the sting.
Nice.
And now, it's time for our degenerate gambling friend Pat's Pick of the Week.
Cow pies for dessert. What does that mean? Sounds shitty. Anyway, he says, and I quote, okay, I lost again. And this is coming down to the end. And I have a parlay to try and get into position to make a Hail Mary in the last couple weeks. Yeah, I'm sure you'll say, oh, it's a favorites parlay. And when do they ever hit? Well, this fucking week. This week, it's going to hit. So Man City, West Ham, Everton, Tottenham, and Arsenal to win. And I think his bet's going to get hammered, personally. Back to his quote. On a $100 bet, it pays out at $4.75. Everyone have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week when Sammy becomes a Tottenham fan for a day. Yeah, motherfucker.
Yeah, you will be. That is for damn sure.
I will never say that I want Tottenham to win, ever. But I will say that I want City to drop points that day.
There you go. Very good.
All right, so here I go. This one pays me out at plus 1,559, which would take about 2/3 of my debt away.
9-way parlay.
It's actually not that much. Not that much at all. And I figured I should probably tell you what teams they're playing. So I'm pulling my DraftKings up, and here we go. Tottenham at Burnley. I have Tottenham to win.
Get it the fuck together, Sam.
Fulham versus Man City. Now, this is the one that obviously could have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Fulham or draw.
Okay.
Bet with me, Art.
Heard betting with your heart.
Everton to beat Sheffield United because you're going to turn in your free buffet voucher. This could be the most goals you score in a game this season.
Yeah, pretty much.
Newcastle to beat Brighton. And then Arsenal to take care of Manchester United. That 5-pick parlay, including that double chance, gets me $1,559 on a $100 bet. And like I said,
good gambling.
I should be able to take the title and 3/4 of my debt away for the season.
Very good. Well, not the title in betting because I've got to really fuck
Just
it
one
off.
more week after that.
Yeah, well, when you pick all 10 games
and it's going to hit.
and you get it wrong.
I won't get it wrong.
You always get it wrong. You always get it wrong.
I
You know
got
who
double
never-
chances now, bro.
You know who rarely gets it wrong? The chicken.
Well, Kitty missed with the bees win, and so she sits at 19 and 15. So this week, I gave Kitty Spurs hosting Burnley. Now, she quickly handed me a photo of her with John Cena, Tom Holland, and Kenneth Branagh Besides being all accomplished actors, all three are big Spurs supporters, so it looks like Kitty is pitting Tottenham to win a seal Burnley's fate to be relegated.
Okay, very good.
And of course, the chicken wants everyone to remember to gamble legally and responsibly.
I wanted to hit it with my face. I was waiting for you to throw it at me. I was going to smack it away with my face and go, in my face.
I wanted to hit it with
I wanted to hit it with my face.
There you
good
go.
header.
Fuck's sake.
It was a good header, damn it. All right. Well, that is going to wrap it up, boys and girls. Mr. Graham, any parting words?
Yes. Welcome back to the Premier League, Ipswich.
Mm-hmm. Congrats.
That is awesome. However, that story did not overshadow one very young baby rabbit, Mrs. Vardy.
Mm-hmm.
Or baby fox, actually, should they say.
Mm-hmm.
Little Miss Vardy, Olivia Vardy, was given a microphone by her father on top of a bus.
Oh, you're not. She's not a. You're not
What?
debacking a child.
No. We're
I'm
praising the child.
celebrating.
Oh, good, because I'm so proud of her.
And I'm celebrating Mr. Vardy's parenting. He quieted the crowd.
Oh, I hope he comes back next season and still plays for him.
He quieted the crowd down of their open top bus parade with the championship trophy. and he goes, "Hey, Olivia," and he's holding her on his hip. He says, "Olivia." And he puts a microphone in her face and says, "Tell him rock, paper, scissors." And she goes, and I'm sure you all have seen this. I think the links are all over Drunkard United FC, which is our closed Facebook group that you should check out. It's where all the hashtag bans happen. But Olivia goes, "Rock, paper, scissors, fuck off." To which the entire crowd just goes nuts and
I need to
cheers.
find a sound drop for that.
Yes,
Oh,
definitely.
yeah. Big time.
All right, good.
It's very good.
It's fabulous.
Yeah, it's everything that you want from the Vardy family. It's everything we've come to expect, and I hope he procreates more. Because if there's one thing this world needs, it's more Jamie Vardy's running around.
We do.
Hey,
we need
call
more
him
of
by
that
his
man.
Christian name.
Jamie fucking Vardy.
Yeah, goddamn right.
Which I have a feeling.
Not sorry, Russ.
Which I have a feeling that his daughter looks up and goes, "Dad, fucking D."
Uh-huh.
You know,
exactly.
she throws the fucking in there as well.
Oh, hell
obviously.
yeah. It's his Christian name. You have
It's-
to refer to him as
It's
such.
very funny.
All right,
I
everybody.
love everything about it.
Next up is injury time. We're going to preview the weekend's action and, of course, talk about fantasy and the beers that we were drinking. And just before that, we're going to do the EFL show, which we're going to continue doing live right here. Catch us up on all the playoffs. Who's going up, who's going down in the championship. We just gave a little hint about some of that. And then, of course, with injury time, that is with our Patreon. Sam, how does one become a Patreon?
At patreon.com/DFootballShow, just sign up to that $5 tier, and you will get all of our extra shit, which is funnier than this shit, which is already very fucking funny.
Attaboy. Well done. Till next week, everybody.
If you don't like it, rock, paper, scissors, fuck off.
Born in the land of Bowie, Maryland. Bred to be a fan of fucking Everton. Punch you in the eye and drink your rye. Sam Houston.
Sam Houston.
Arsenal fans have another Sam. AKA the fucking Gooner Graham. Snub of my lord. Look straight in shorts. Sam Grammy.
Sam Graham.
Brooklyn United! Brooklyn United! Hit the fucking mute button!